Rusty, you saw Sacovie White this
No,
past weekend.
I did not. Jeremy Johnson saw him
Okay.
Thursday night, but I did watch some of his clips from that, and I did talk to Cedartown staff, who has Tate Harris, their corners committed to Georgia in the 2025 class, and then you have Sacovie the 2024, and in Cedartown's, I've known those guys for a long time, so they obviously know a lot of players there. They told me, man, he was hard to deal with. Said he's real quick. He's got that suddenness to him, and he got behind a defender. They tried to keep everything in front with him, and got behind a defender one time and a half. The starters only played one half, and scored a touchdown, called a one-handed ball when tight coverage. So, Sacovie already starting out. And by the way, good little plug here. Friday night around 8:30, I'll be doing the Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic game between Rome and Cass, and Sacovie will be in that game. You get a chance to see him play. You can watch it anywhere in the country. I'll tweet out the links. You can watch it free on stream. It'll be on Peachtree TV in Atlanta area, so you'll be able to pick it up. But a lot of players this week, but Sacovie plays next Friday night. You'll see the play here. Watch him get in behind the defender, and you'll just see this right here with his left hand. See his left hand right there, make that catch. Yeah, that's. And you see the defender going down. Like, man, I had tight coverage, and you just look back up and you see the guy with the ball there, and that's kind of a look at that catch.
Is that Tay Harrison coverage?
I don't think so. Look at his arm, though. See his arm? See his right arm?
Yeah, I'm trying to zoom in.
He can't. Yeah, I mean, so he can't do anything, but he catches that ball one-handed. So that tells you kind of what the difference is when you start talking about players. That might be Tay. Is that 27? Might be Tay. Yeah, I think they had a pretty big battle, a lot of reps, and Cedartown comes out on top of that little scrimmage game. But Sacovie certainly showing people why he's been committed to Georgia and why he garnered a lot of attention early on. He's kind of one of those guys nobody talks about because he committed so early. He hasn't taken visits. He hasn't messed around with that. He's been trying to help recruit everybody from Georgia. He's a great kid, man. You see him, and you just see him there with his family. Got a chance to see him at the press conference last week for Corky Kell. I told him, I said, Sacovie, I feel like you've been here like 12 years, man. You've been playing since you're a freshman. It's kind of been, I think it's been written, his parents are huge Alabama fans, and I think his mom or dad went to Alabama, but when Georgia offered, it was a place for him, and he's been all in from day one since that offer and since he committed to Georgia.
Just looking around some of the other Georgia commits that were in action, some scrimmages. Dylan Raiola also looked pretty sharp in his Buford Wolves, I guess, debut.
I'll tell you what now. They play St. Francis Academy Friday night, and from my knowledge, for whatever reason, that game is not on TV. It's at Buford. It's not an ESPN game, which I don't understand. But St. Francis Academy, many people think if Modern Day is not, they are the number one team in the country. And they are absolutely loaded. They are loaded. So the Buford Wolves are going to have their hands full Friday night. And certainly they're not going to back down from anybody because they're a powerhouse program, and they got a lot of players themselves. But this team that's coming down to Georgia this week is loaded out of the Baltimore area.
Jamon Dumas Johnson's high school.
Jamon Dumas Johnson's high school, correct. So this is a huge game, and I'm interested to see how the win-loss here doesn't really matter to me as far as like what's going to happen. I'm interested to see where Buford is. I'm interested to see where Dylan Raiola is early on in this type of game because on paper, you don't say this much, but on paper, Buford's probably the underdogs here. So we'll see what happens. I was at practice the other day, and their defensive line is incredible. I mean, their defensive line is incredible at Buford. So I wish that game was on TV. There's a big game on TV, ESPN2 next Friday night at 6 p.m. Juju Lewis, who ESPN is ranked the number one high school player in the country, regardless of class, the 2026 quarterback. Yep, ESPN named him the number one player in high school football. He's the 2026 quarterback at Carrollton, and he will play Langston Hughes, by the way, Aaron Nolan, who's the Ohio State quarterback. So you can tell I'm a little excited, but next Friday night, man, you can sit back and watch some games. You'll be able to watch that ESPN2 game, and then We got Corky Kell games on all day, starting at 2:30. Josh Petty, who's the number 2, I think, rated or number 1 rated offensive tackle in the country for on 3 out of Fellowship Christian. He'll play at 2:30, so that game will be on TV as well. A lot of Georgia type targets Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but also some national games to kind of watch coming up next week with some Georgia interest.
Yeah, I'm
number
excited to see
number
you.
2 there for Josh Petty, and Roos has a story on him on our front page right now.
Yep. Saw that today. So a lot of things there, but I'm interested in Buford. What they do with this team. Buford's not, listen, nobody's over there intimidated by anybody. But if you have to say, everybody I've talked to that covers this from a national perspective said this St. Francis team might be the number 1 team in the country. So it'd be fun to watch that and see the result and see how that goes.